Session 27 Origins and Related Words. 1. Front and back, and uncles. The ventriloquist appears to talk from the belly, venter, ventris plus locker, rather than through the lips, or such was the strange perception of the person who first used the word. Venter, ventris, belly, is the root on which ventral and ventricle are built. The ventral side of an animal, for example, is the front or anterior side, the belly side. A ventricle is a hollow organ or cavity, or, logically enough, belly, as one of the two chambers of the heart, or one of the four chambers of the brain. The ventricles of the heart are the lower chambers, and receive blood from the auricles, or upper chambers. The auricle, so named because it is somewhat ear-shaped, Latin auris, ear, receives blood from the veins. The auricles send the blood into the ventricles, which in turn pump the blood into the arteries. It's all very complicated, but fortunately it works. The adjective form of ventricle is ventricular, which may refer to a ventricle, or may mean having a belly-like bulge. Now that you see how ventricular is formed from ventricle, can you figure out the adjective of auricle? How about the adjective of vehicle? Of circle? No doubt you wrote auricular, vehicular, and circular, and have discovered that nouns ending in cle from adjectives ending in cular. So you can now be the first person on your block to figure out the adjective derived from clavicle, cuticle, vesicle, testicle, uncle. The answers, of course, are clavicular, cuticular, vesicular, testicular, and for uncle you have every right to shout, no fair. But where is it written that life is fair? The Latin word for uncle, actually, uncle on the mother's side, is avunculus, from which we get avuncular, referring to an uncle. Now what about an uncle? Well, traditional or stereotypical uncles are generally kindly, permissive, indulgent, protective, and often give helpful advice. So anyone who exhibits one or more of such traits to another, usually younger, person is avuncular or acts in an avuncular capacity. So, at long last, to get back to ventral. If there's a front or belly side, anatomically, there must be a reverse, a back side. This is the dorsal side, from Latin dorsum, the root on which the verb endorse is built. If you endorse a check, you sign it on the back side. If you endorse a plan, an idea, etc., you back it, you express your approval or support. The noun is endorsement. 2. The noise and the fury vociferous derives from Latin vox, voces, voice, a root you met in chapter 9, plus fero, to bear or carry. A vociferous rejoinder carries a lot of voice, i.e., it is vehement, loud, noisy, clamorous, shouting. The noun is vociferousness, the verb is to vociferate. Can you form the noun derived from the verb? 3. To sleep or not to sleep, that is the question. The root fero is found also in somniferous, carrying, bearing, or bringing sleep. So a somniferous lecture is so dull and boring that it is sleep-inducing. Fero is combined with somnus, sleep, in somniferous. The suffix us indicates what part of speech. Tack on the negative prefix in, to somnus, to construct insomnia, the abnormal inability to fall asleep when sleep is required or desired. The unfortunate victim of this disability is an insomniac. The adjective is insomnious. So, us, in case you could not answer the question in the preceding paragraph, is an adjective suffix. Add a different adjective suffix, to somnus, to derive somnolent, sleepy, drowsy. Can you construct the noun form of somnolent? Combine somnus with ambulo, to walk, and you have somnambulism, walking in one's sleep. With your increasing skill in using etymology to form words, write the term for the person who is a sleepwalker. Now add to the word you wrote a two-letter adjective suffix we have learned, to form the adjective. 4. A walkaway, an ambulatory patient, as in a hospital or convalescent home, is finally well enough to get out of bed and walk around. A perambulator, a word used more in England than in the United States, and often shortened to pram, is a baby carriage, a vehicle for walking an infant through the streets, through. To perambulate is, etymologically, to walk through, hence, to stroll around. Can you write the noun form of this verb? To amble is to walk aimlessly. An ambulance is so called because originally it was composed of two stretcher-bearers who walked off the battlefield with a wounded soldier, and a preamble is, by etymology, something that walks before, before, beforehand, hence an introduction or introductory statement, as the preamble to the U.S. Constitution, We the People, a preamble to the speech, etc., or any event that is introductory or preliminary to another, as in an increase in inflationary factors in the economy is often a preamble to a drop in the stock market. 5. Back to sleep. Somnus is one Latin word for sleep, sopor is another. A soporific lecture, speaker, style of delivery, etc. will put the audience to sleep, fic, from facio, to make, and a soporific is a sleeping pill. 6. Noun suffixes. You know that ness can be added to any adjective to construct the noun form. Write the noun derived from inarticulate. Inarticulate is a combination of the negative prefix in and Latin articulus, a joint. The inarticulate person has trouble joining words together coherently. If you are quite articulate, on the other hand, you join your words together easily, you are verbal, vocal, possibly even voluble. The verb to articulate is to join words, i.e., to express your vocal sounds, as in please articulate more clearly. Can you write the noun derived from the verb articulate? Another, and very common, noun suffix attached to adjectives is, as you have discovered, ity. So the noun form of banal is either banalness or, more commonly, banality. Bear in mind, then, that ness and ity are common noun suffixes attached to adjectives, and ion, or ation, is a noun suffix frequently affixed to verbs, to articulate, articulation, to vocalize, vocalization, to perambulate, perambulation. Review of etymology. Prefix, root, suffix meaning 1. Venter, ventris belly 2. Locker, to speak 3. Orasir 4. Avunculus uncle 5. Dorsum back 6. Vox, vocis voice 7. Pharaoh to carry, bear 8. Somnus sleep 9. Us adjective suffix 10. In negative suffix 11. Ambulo, to walk 12. Ori adjective suffix 13. Per, through 14. Pre before, beforehand 15. Sopor sleep 16. Fic, facio, to make or do 17. Ness, noun suffix 18. Ity noun suffix 19. Ion, ation, noun suffix attached to verbs 20. And adjective suffix 21. Inc, noun suffix.